Jenny Donheiser.
And I'm Nicole Spezio. And
This is
How Are You Brainwashed?
I was going to say a Halloween How Are You Brainwashed?
I was like, I thought maybe you were saying about How Were You Brainwashed production. I was unclear. But yes, today, spoiler alert, everyone. Today's Halloween for us.
We're recording on Halloween. Yeah. Happy Halloween, Nicole.
Happy Halloween. What is your boy?
He's going to be Big Bird.
So cute.
My brother-in-law bought an Oscar the Grouch costume to match him. I don't even have a costume.
So sweet.
I know.
Please, we need to put a pic in the show notes.
Yeah. He was like, I got my costume to match Elliot trick-or-treating. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And he was like, did you and Graham get costumes? And we were like, no.
Who would you be if you were a Sesame Street casting?
I guess Graham and I would be Bert and Ernie. But I could also see myself as a Cookie Monster. I mean, yeah, in the Sesame Street world, I would say Elliot's Elmo, actually. Graham is Big Bird, and I'm potentially Cookie Monster.
Well, there's always next year.
I just happened upon a Big Bird costume at a thrift store, so that is where sort of why Elliot is being Big Bird. And your girls, I guess you can reveal because it will have been... This will come out.
My girlies are Sharon Dion from Clueless.
Oh my God.
And I
are they in it already?
To Insta
you did
just
already?
Before we hopped on the call.
God.
So let's just see how the likes are doing. Okay.
Oh,
pretty well.
Wow.
Pretty good.
The hat. Now, you bought these outfits, or did you make? How did this come together?
I put together the Dion outfit because they make infant Dion and girl and adult Dion, but they do not make toddler Dion. But they do make toddler Cher. So I purchased toddler Cher and curated toddler Dion.
Where did you find this hat?
I found it and I put a red flower on it.
I can't believe this.
Can you believe?
So cute.
They look so sweet.
Gorgeous.
My babies. I love them so much.
Oh my God. Was your building like just thrilled?
Yeah,
they wandering around like this.
It was. We went down to the lobby and people were pretty excited.
Yeah.
Okay, how was the fucking festival, Jenny?
It was really fun. You'll hear me sort of talk about it a little bit in the episode with our guests, but had to really talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, can I do this? And it was interesting because, it's writers, it's sort of known as the Writers Festival. And so there's a writers conference with like panels and workshops and pitches and all this stuff going on at this in conjunction with the film festival, but it's really about the film festival. Sorry. It's mostly about the writers. But so everybody's kind of there on their own, and every thing you go to, they're like telling you to like meet your peers, work with your friends, which is like stuff I've been hearing for hundreds and ones of years. I'm like, okay, I know. I'm already doing that. I'm doing that.
You don't need that advice.
I don't need that advice, but they like love saying that, like that's a new information. But I think it creates like a frenzy amongst the writers, because some people, I guess, didn't like stay in New York City after acting school and have a whole community of creatives, and like everybody is doing something. So like they're like very hungry to like connect. And then there's also like everyone ever from LA who's like just predisposed to do that. So it's a lot of like, there's no hiding. You can't go anywhere without someone being like, what script are you here with? What's your deal? So there was a lot of that. But I did make a community. I met a guy early on that I saw again and gravitated towards. And then like by the end of the first night, we were all having dinner together and like we were friends. And so then we all like had a group text going. So every day it was like, what are you going to?
You had a group text going. Oh my God.
Yeah. And the group text is still going, Nicole. We're still texting.
What could people be saying now as you're home?
Just like, like sending each other
miss
scripts,
you guys.
asking, a lot of somebody texted happy Halloween. Miss you guys today. Nicole's worried.
Oh.
But there was one female within this community. Her name's
female. What? Don't say it like that.
There was a woman. There's a woman in the community who is my girl now, and that's nice.
Well, I think the listeners want to know? Did you?
Oh my God, I did not win the brass tiebreaker. Very sadly, a writing duo. Not fair. In my category, 1, 2 men. Shout out. So sadly, I did not win the brass tiebreaker, but I did get to attend the awards luncheon and be scared that I was going to have to give a speech in front of Robert Rodriguez. It's funny because he's a director. Mike will know. Mike knows about Robert
Michael, no,
Rodriguez.
honey.
Celine Song was there, who wrote and directed Past Lives and The
Oh, cool.
Materialist, which I did watch The Materialist on my flight back. Have you seen it? How can someone make such a good movie and then make such a bad movie? So interesting, you know? It's
Interesting.
hard to follow up like such a great movie, though. I would love for you to watch it because there's something that happens in it that's so weird and funny that
You
I
just
feel
tell me
like
because
okay,
now that you
okay.
told me it was bad, I'm not going to watch it.
Okay, spoiler alert for The Materialist. If you really want to watch it, skip ahead
And this might be getting cut because you said it
30
was bad. So we'll see.
okay. So she's a matchmaker, Dakota Johnson, and she works in New York City as a matchmaker, and she's like very mathematical. Like it's all about like people are a match when their economic status matches, when their upbringing matches, like blah blah. She like looks at everybody like via numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And she had like a poor actor boyfriend, and they always used to fight about money. So she like has said she will never date anybody poor again. Is kind of like her through lines. And then she meets Pedro Pascal, and he's like perfect and he's rich and handsome, and he's what they call a unicorn in the matchmaking world. And there's like a teaser at the very beginning about how height is important in dating for men and how like women are only looking for men above 6 foot or whatever, finance, blue eyes, whatever, 6 foot. And that some men have a surgery to make themselves taller is like an option. So it's kind of a twist in this movie at a certain point that we learn Pedro Pascal has had height. He had a surgery to make himself taller where they like put splints in your legs to make you like 6 inches taller. What?
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. So that is a twist. We get to encounter that he was this shorty who got leg surgery to be tall.
To like show that like you can't have it all. Like,
I guess to humanize him at some point in the show. And then
interesting.
she dumps him right after that. And he's like, is it because of the height? And she's like, no.
No.
It's not because you had surgery to make yourself taller.
Huh. Very interesting what I'm hearing.
And then he's like, I would never have had the, balls to hit on you if I was 5'6". And then he like makes himself
He
smaller.
crouches.
He crouches to be like, would you have?
To be like, say.
And she was like, I would have. And you're like, no, you wouldn't. And then she goes back to her broke boyfriend, and then that's the end of the movie. And they're like, we probably won't be happy, but we love each other, so we're gonna try to make it work.
Very interesting.
And there's a lot
very
of
interesting
content around 37-year-old broke actor Chris Evans. Yeah, right. Who's like living in a sad apartment with roommates. And I was just like, I'm triggered. So I can't recommend, but I'm thrilled to tell you about that scene. Anyway, it was fun. I had a blast. I felt confident about like, oh, I can be charming and like make friends and like it's okay.
Absolutely.
And I met some real weirdos, met some nice, cool people. She didn't fly home with a brass typewriter, but she did fly home with a text chain of pals and some contacts. So,
and I ultimately wasn't asking if you won.
Oh,
I was asking if you fucked around on your husband.
Sadly, no.
Okay.
No.
I assumed when you never sent a text that said I won, you didn't win, so I just sort of wasn't bringing it up for your sake. But...
I know. Shout out to my lovely host. But it wasn't a match, I would say.
It wasn't a match. And that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay, well, do you know who it is a match with?
Yes.
I guess. Does that make any sense? I don't know.
It can and it will.
It can.
Absolutely.
Okay. Today we have an author on the pod. Her books include Many Love, a memoir of polyamory and finding love. She's a new book, Kin, The Future of Family. It's coming out, I believe, November 11th.
Yeah.
She's a cartoonist at the New Yorker. Please welcome to the pod, Sophie Lucido Johnson.
Hi. Thank
Welcome,
you for having
Sophie.
me. Hi. Yes. I'm so excited to be here.
And we are thrilled to have you, Sophie.
Beyond thrilled.
Okay.
You have really beautiful voices for this. I'm like hearing them and I'm like, wow, these voices are really good.
We're a gasp. Thank you so much.
We really take well to compliments. So
so a
we're
great
starting
start.
on a great foot. Yeah.
Great. It was genuine.
I believe it and I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
Okay, I want to just, tell us all about your new book first. I want to hear the whole
Yes.
thing.
Thank you. Yeah, that is what I am doing these days, is telling everyone about this book, and I'm excited to be doing it. So it's called Kin, The Future of Family, and it's a how-to anti-nuclear family book, like a chosen family book. And the hope would be that people who are feeling really spread thin and like, I just don't know how to do all the things I have to do, people with kids and without kids and living near their, family of origins, totally separated, can find each other in ways that are a little bit easier than like, well, let's all take off our shoes and join a commune, which is
Hmm.
probably good. I haven't done that, but I feel like it should be accessible to everybody to be a little more connected with one another. So that's the sort of goal of the book.
You're speaking our language as as young moms, as someone who was late to this call because she was struggling to get her son down for a nap.
Did you do it?
I mean, he's in there.
I'm so impressed that you did your best.
He's in there. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
can hear my two twins just in the room where they're supposed to be napping right now. They're just
Are they
doing
home today?
Yes, they're home today
No
from
daycare on
daycare.
Halloween?
No daycare on Fridays, but
Oh,
we
daycare on
are
Fridays.
sort of thinking, do we want to just
Do we not tack
get
it
them there on
on?
Fridays too? I don't know.
Yeah.
Thinking about it for sure.
Mine's at daycare, and she is in costume in a
Okay.
big way.
What is she, if you can say?
Yes.
She is corpse bride / vampire / princess, but
Oh.
really as manifested as corpse bride. I am personally not a Tim Burton fan, but she is. She really is, and it's allowed me to
Chic.
appreciate. I mean, she really loves like all things macabre and goth. And she's 3. So, she's embodying it and from a real place of understanding. She was so recently not alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She's obsessed. And I think Corpse Bride, honestly, like, I think her beauty standards are damaging, but she's just like literally a skeleton with huge boobs, and I just can't with it. But I made the dress, and that was fun. I made the veil. It was the most trad wife thing I've ever done. I felt just so, but I feel like it looks cool, and she looks awesome, and her makeup was fun to do this morning.
Oh my God. You made a costume. So
I know. I can't
yes.
believe it either. It's really not on brand.
Did you sew or did you go hot glue gun?
Yes.
Yes to all.
Yes.
Check all. Yeah.
Wow, I love that she's macabre. That's
Yeah.
so fun.
I
Me
mean,
too.
what a chic thing for a 3-year-old to be.
And honestly, like, such a challenge for me because I'm so scared of everything. I think everything is so, so scary. And she's just not. And that's great. I mean, I'm just so happy for her. But it's so opposite my constitution. And I'm just gonna. I mean, that's part of that. To segue, that's part of the thing with a chosen family is we have friends who like
Yes.
macabre stuff, so she can just be with them, and I'll continue reading Babysitter's Club alone.
Yes, wait, tell us how to live because this is not working.
I think actually we might be living the
We're
principles of the
living.
book, but I want
That's
you
true.
to tell us how to live and then we'll see if we're doing it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know how to. I don't know. I mean, thank you for. I shouldn't say that. I feel like my publisher would be mad if I said I don't know. But obviously I don't know. I'm just a human, and we're all idiots. But the things that are working for me and that research shows work just sort of include these minor changes in the way we do family and the way we like approach each other. So in our house, it's like every night is dinner. We can have dinner every single night with a lot of different people. So we have an open door policy, and sometimes it's like 11 people, sometimes it's 4 people. We only have 1 child, so very rarely is it just the 3 of us, and we always make dinner, and whoever comes, like, they clean up the dinner. And it's not like it's a whole bunch of like a million people, because I think you need a few people who are really close. It's hard, there's only so many hours in the day. And then we have a lot of people watching our kid all the time, and that is like, I don't know how people do it without that, but we don't live near our parents, so it is nice to have people in her. I mean, if she only knew me, my husband is great. If she only knew me, she would be so damaged. I like lose my patience so easily. It's nice to be able to say, "Oh, I have to tap out. I can't like
Yeah.
be a good parent in this moment. I'm going to be a very bad." Can we swear on this? Do we not?
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
don't want to be a shitty parent. But
No.
and I still am, but it's nice to have other people around who are going to be able to like let me go and scream into a pillow. And then it's about sharing resources, and that's about like ecology, and the world is ending, and like we need to be using less stuff and slowing down a lot. So, is it possible to like share physical space more often? Is it possible to share resources more often? Like, can you be connected to your neighborhood in a way that is not hard? Like maybe one lawnmower for 4 houses, for example. I mean, it's just like such a small thing, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
just not that hard. And so these little adjustments where we learn each other's names and connect and find our way to each other rather than sitting in the house with just 3.5 people and a dog, you're feeling like, "Oh my god, how am I supposed to do this?" Like, you're not. There's no way to do that.
Yeah.
The people who look like they're doing that have help, and they aren't
Right.
really actually doing it. So,
Yeah.
it's just not possible, and it's wild that in 2025, like, we long ago learned that the nuclear family is a lie and doesn't work, and we were still being sold the same, like, bullshit about what
Mhm.
it is supposed to be, which I know this is, like, on I've listened to your show, like, I think you guys are talking about this already, but, okay, we'll supplement.
Yeah, I really it's funny because Nicole and I on this podcast have often talked about like, do we move? And every time that comes up, obviously the move would be about, since we're like, in Brooklyn and Queens over here, the move would be more about space or
Mhm.
schools or whatever. But losing community and losing the ability to just like go outside and like have a community. Because right now I'm stay at home. I'm not by
Mhm.
choice. I'm just unemployed.
Mm.
Um,
Congrats.
thank you.
So much so it's really a moment. It's so hard out there right now.
Mm.
It's
So
hard.
it's like I'm just meeting people in the park. I like go to the library, I see the same people. Like, it's like thank God. If I
Mhm.
was in the suburbs, I just don't know if that would be happening. And also I'd be isolated from Nicole, from my other friends and, the people in the neighborhood. And I just I would be very sad.
I do think, like, you can do this in the suburb just as much as you can do it in, like, a condo. Like, I think, even if you're living maybe the only exception would be if you're living deep in the woods and
Mm.
there you can't, like, see any people at all, which I think is a problematic thing, to do. The first chapter of this book is, like, Walden is a lie, just on
Oh,
every level.
yes, drag that guy's
Agree.
ass.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he created this like fantasy for every man, a certain type of
Yeah.
beanie wearing man who
Yeah.
like is like, well, for true happiness I need solitude. Well, solitude is different from isolation, and solitude can exist in community. Like you don't have to be, alone in the woods using resources, being with your dog, only your dog, talking to your pots and pans to have solitude.
Wow, such a brainwash for straight guys. We don't have enough straight guys on. Not a lot of them have talked about that. But yeah, I one time to an ex-boyfriend, he was, wanting to break up with me because he needed to find himself or whatever.
Sure.
And he did successfully do that. But I mean, break up with me, who knows if he found himself. But
Was it Sorry, keep going.
I know. But I like in an email to him, I was like, the guy in Into the Wild died. Into the Wild did, and then he ate poison berries and he
And
died alone in
died.
his van. So good
Well,
luck.
yeah, and Thoreau didn't actually, like, live in the woods by himself for that was, like, a short
Right,
experiment, and his
right.
friends regularly visited him. He just wrote this, like, book about he also had so much privilege, it's just wild. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, well, good for you. I'm sorry that
Yeah.
that person had to lose you because that seems
Yeah.
like a big loss on his
Thank
part, but
you.
That's for sure.
It's all
glad
good. It's all
glad he
good
But
now.
found himself.
huge reveal that you wrote that email. I love that. That's great, Jenny.
I've been known to write a mean email or two in my
Oh, I know that.
time.
Oh, I know that.
Like that, like, what does Dorinda say?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Say it, forget it,
Yeah,
write it, regret it.
exactly. I should have listened to her in that
Yeah.
time because I was always sort of writing it and regretting
No,
it.
put your rage into paper.
I
That's
mean,
good.
that's were you in your 20s?
Yeah,
I feel like that's you're supposed to in your
Yeah.
20s. Like, you have to make
yeah.
that mistake a bunch of times to learn that you don't do that. And, that's important. That's a rite of passage more
Nothing
than
feels
living in the
better than
woods.
to send a man a mean text. I mean,
Oh my god, so true.
a
Put it
long,
on a
long
t-shirt.
mean text.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I feel that we are living the principles of your book. Jenny and I are so
That's great. Love
codependent,
that for you guys.
with our friends and our community, and it's. I feel very blessed to have such a strong
Yes.
network of people, and that everyone's partners I even like. I never thought that was going to happen, but I even like everyone's partners. It's so great.
That is so
Um,
great.
and our little babies, and yeah, I just feel like that is I don't know how people could do it with just their immediate, family being the thing. It's just you need help, you need friends, you need connection in multiple ways. You need a fun uncle who likes the macabre to, hang out with your kid if that's what they're into. It's
Yeah,
important.
it is important, and you said you're really grateful, and I appreciate that, but also, you built it. So
Yeah.
it's like to say this does take intentionality by nature of we weren't raised with these values. Like, this was just not I mean, the only exception, I interviewed so many people for this book. The exceptions I found were people who grew up in religious communities, and actually those people were I would sometimes we're poly, sometimes we're not, different people. They all really had appreciation, even for fundamentalist Christian, communities from their childhoods because it taught them about community and like being a part of something larger than oneself. So
Mm,
secularizing that has been a challenge, but the
mm.
energy is really, really important. It's really important. It's that energy of being around people, and you do have to put work into it. So I think good job, you guys, and I give you a little sticker if I could.
I
Love that.
I take the virtual imagined sticker. Thank you.
Okay, so you said open door policy and you have sometimes up to 11 people. Are you just like sending a mass text or people in your building? How's that
It's
work?
How
true.
much are you cooking
I know,
every
Yeah.
right?
day?
It's truly open door. You just have to text us like within 2 hours of dinner, which is 6:30, like every night at 6:30. It's always 6:30. My husband and I rotate. We take turns. The main thing is that this is an unreal dream come true. I can't believe it happened to me, sort of a situation. But as I was working on this book and like learning about the benefits of living near people that you love, my best friend from high school moved across the street as sort of a like,
Oh,
well, then
wow.
let's just do that. So she and her partner moved across the street. So like baseline, they pretty much always come over. She's in
Mm.
grad school, so sometimes she has night classes, but they pretty much always come over. And then we have like 4 other people who will, text in advance. Maybe I'll come. So, if it's 10, it's a lot of food. You're gonna have to it's chili. Like if it's 10, it's chili or pasta. But it's
It's
usually
chilly.
5 or 6, and then it's just a little bit more than I would make, and just I hate leftovers, so it's like such
Mm.
a blessing to have no leftovers. My husband likes them, but I hate them. But, it's nice to just be able to feed people and then to have people clean. Like I like wept the other day. I was so I've been so spread thin because I feel like I'm working so many jobs at one time all the time.
Mm.
And my house is a mess because my kid is 3, and Diana came over for dinner and she hates doing the dishes. She won't do the dishes because they're gross. But we went upstairs and like did bedtime for my daughter, and I came down the next morning and our living room was like clean and organized, and I just like started to cry because I was like,
Oh.
oh my God, like I needed so
Yeah.
badly for this to happen. I didn't even know how much I needed this until I saw what it
Mm.
looked like and just the like relief. And she said, oh yeah, I just called my mom and talked while I was cleaning your living room. She didn't even,
So
and then
sweet.
just left. I mean, it's really, proximity does matter. It's like, it's important that, and it's tough because some of our closest people live far away. So there's ways to be really committed to those people and intentional about that. I think we learned that a lot during the pandemic.
Mm.
But yeah, it's proximity is important. And so if your listeners are out there like, "Oh, I wish I lived by my friends, but I don't." Like, okay, really meet your neighbors. It does like you will have something in common with some of your neighbors, no matter who they are, just because by nature of like you both chose to live here for whatever
Mhm.
reason, or you all chose to live here for whatever reason. So you're invested in keeping this community like clean and nice and a good place to live. And so like you start there. We used to live next to like ooh scary Republicans, but they ended up coming to our wedding.
Hmm.
And we had an open wedding also. So it was like we anyone could come to the wedding. And
Love.
I know it was
Wow.
great. It was fantastic. But that's just to say, like, we just learned the things that we talked about and didn't talk about. And there's a lot of value. They were like from a totally different, every demographic different than we were. So I don't know. We're all just people. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much divisiveness. It just isn't
Yeah.
necessary. It just isn't necessary. And it doesn't happen face to face. It's like all when you're in your car or behind your computer screen that people are
Right.
Mhm.
assholes.
Right. In your car. Yeah.
Well, I feel like cars and the internet are the same.
Whoa, go on. Wait, what do you mean?
It's like
Okay.
one of my
Say more.
it's like one of my soapboxes. I have a couple of soapboxes, and that's one of them. I think that, like, before cars were invented, people, were, well, more, like, in their communities because they couldn't get around. I mean, there's, like, data to back it up with the advent of the bicycle, actually, that, like, people started to meet people outside their neighborhood, and then cars, like, that's turbo speed. Like, people are able to go anywhere, everywhere. People can move away from their families, visit their families. It's very exciting. It's really like, "Oh my gosh, I can see all these things and do all these things, and the world is open up to me." And also, you put yourself in a box where nobody sees your humanity at all. And so you're just like going around exploring the world, like hating everybody else who's out there because they're not people to you. And
Mm.
like, what is the internet but that exactly that? The same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is like it's exciting and it's great, and it also like is hurting everyone and everything all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's so easy to
Yeah, yeah.
I was just at, a film festival over the weekend, and it was like, well, it was a film festival, there was a writers' conference happening at the same time, so it was like a bunch of, like, very lonely, weird, insecure writers all, like, thrust into a situation where we were being told to be social. They were like, "Meet everybody, talk to everybody." So you would, like, stand in line for coffee, and people would, like, see you had a badge on and
Yeah.
just, like, be like, "Tell me your whole life story." So, like, it was such a muscle to, like, be doing that all day, every day that
Mm.
I was like, "Okay, you know what? I can do this."
I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. By the way, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
And like that's sort of but it's a perfect example of what I mean when I say like solitude doesn't have to be in isolation because you were not in solitude when you were of course it was a lot of work. Those were the people you had to perform for. And like when you have people you don't have to perform for, you can just be like reading in the same place or like
Mhm,
whatever doing your own shit in the same place.
mhm.
That's great because now if there's an emergency, someone's around. But they're not bugging you. You still have your dick out or whatever. I don't know. Like what you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
there are it's like a limited roster, but there's like 6 to 8 people who I just don't have to apologize that my house looks like this when they come over. And it's
Totally.
like
right,
those are the people. Those are the people.
right, right. Yeah.
My version of that is I feel like every time I try to get that advice of like, just meet the people when we're in this kind of scenario, I always come off like I'm hitting on them by accident. Because I'm so bad at making the conversation that eventually I'm always like, so you got a wife or how long you in town? Like I always come across like I'm trying to fuck them. And I'm
Dude,
most of the time not.
Nicole, me too. Are you I especially as a person who has like a bunch of stuff out that's like about being poly.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
like sometimes as soon as I drop it, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to fuck you." And I'm like, "I didn't ask you to. I don't have
Yeah.
time right now. I just am being friendly with you. Like
I
this is just a
know.
friendship." But yeah, I know. What's the
My
line?
signals are
People
my
need to
signals get
it's because we're
crossed.
so uncomfortable with kindness and it's really too
Yeah.
bad. It's a big
Mm.
problem. People just need to work on that.
Yeah, I also was like, "Are we in love?" Like, me and somebody is like, we're, like, talking about our family dynamics, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a problematic older brother who dropped the ball," but and I was like, "I have that. I have a problematic older si" and then I was like, "We're in love. We
Yeah.
bonded over this thing, and now we
Yeah.
are in love now? It's
Yes,
like, no, no,
right.
no, you're just sharing human experiences and connecting with someone.
Yep.
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're in love.
Yeah, I mean, it could mean that you're some kind of in love. This is another problem I have that is in this book is like the lack of language for types of relationships that are not romantic relationships
Hmm.
or family relationships, but like, you have friends, you have family, you have like this whole dictionary of like we're seeing each other,
Mm.
we're going steady, we're exclusive, we're open, we're like it's
We're
getting
talking.
serious, we're talking like fiance, husband, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, like there's all these words, they all kind of mean different things, like you can learn what that relationship is with language, where
Mhm.
friend is like friend, like you're my friend, and you could be
Mm.
Right.
like it could be the person who could like be in the room with me while I pee,
Right.
and the person who like I see at the grocery store and know their name and would say like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my friend. Those are so different. That's like the
Such
same
different
as,
tiers.
yeah, it's like the same as like I've been on one date with this person and we're married. Like those are so
Yes.
different. So like where's the language for the friends? That's why the
Mm.
title of the book is kin, is like I think that word could be useful to be like, this is my kin person.
Okay, we're using
Okay, we
it.
love that.
Jenny is my kin. The
Yes,
Yeah.
amount of times I've
I
seen
can
her
tell.
pee, I mean, I couldn't even I could write books filled with the times.
I would read that book. It sounds really funny.
I know one time my husband walked out into our apartment while Nicole was there in his underwear, and I was like, "Graham," and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't even think about it."
It's just Nicole. It's just
That's
Nicole.
it's just my kin. I can wear my underwear around my
Yes.
kin.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. You got it. So
I
this is
know.
I'm proposing this word because we don't have one, but
I think it's good.
thanks.
Huh.
It's tidy. It's like a nice little neat little word, and I feel like it encapsulates a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I There are these people, and I think without the language, it's really hard to like talk about the relationship and like we figure it out, but like yeah, you don't know exactly what are we doing here. You don't know exactly what you're doing
Mhm.
because we have only seen it modeled on like 3 sitcoms, and it's usually people in their 20s or early 30s, and like we don't like have models, but we all have the people.
I know. I was thinking about this too. I saw a friend of mine who I did a play with in 2017 this week, and like immediately we were just like looking to each other's eyes being like, I love you, you're my person, because like for 2 months 8 years ago, I can't do math, is it eight, some undetermined amount of years ago, we were like family for 2 months, and then like because that's how plays work and acting is, those jobs, you just like don't see those people anymore, and it was just, yeah, shocking to be like, oh, we have shared a chapter together,
Hmm.
even though we don't see each other at all, but like to feel so intimate with someone that you never see, because I always see my same best friends. Jenny and I ultimately stayed in the city where we went to college, and so we still have our best friend group here, and we see each other quite often for women in their 30s. Um so it's, yeah, it's just
Dude,
like
and
I
I think that's so smart. Like, I just think that's so, so,
Hmm.
so smart to do that. And again, like, I want to tell the teenagers on my block, like, choose your friends. Like, when you are getting ready to move or not move, like, choose your friends, not like at the same level as partner and job. Like, keep those
yeah.
are like in the same. That's really important. But then they'd be like, that older woman is talking to us again about life advice. To speak to the friend who you were in theater with, like there's there's sociological research that says that it takes like a certain number of cumulative hours to move from acquaintances to friends and from friends to close friends,
Hmm.
and it has to be that type of time, like working on a play is that type of time where you're really intimate with somebody,
Mhm.
or it could be like running errands. You can't be like working side by side in a office, but as long as you're kind of connecting with the person in some way. And the number is 200 hours, which is I think it's 119, but I'm rounding up for best friend, for someone to become a best friend. So it makes sense because once you've hit
Wow.
the number of hours, it lives in you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We change, and so there's always there. Those are the people who you're like, well, how can we just pick it back up? Like we don't have
Yeah.
to even ease in. We just can
Yeah.
pick it back up. So it's time related in a lot of ways.
We put in our
Wow.
10,000
We put
hours
in
of
our
being in rehearsal.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that I love that research. I love it because that's a pretty high number. Like 200 hours is a long
Yeah.
time. And so I always want to rush my friendships because I get enamored with people quite quickly. And I'm like, oh, I want this person to be my best friend.
Mhm.
And then, 40 hours in, I'm like, ooh, I was wrong. Like that's not a fit.
Yeah.
But, by 200, you're
You
in
know.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, that's so interesting. 200 hours.
I can't remember the other number, the one from like acquaintances to friends, but there's this sociologist who's like done this longitudinal research on it. And that's a crazy thing to do, but I love that he did it.
Wow, yeah, how do I get paid to, study best friends? I wanna do that.
I think there are jobs in that, but I don't know that these people get paid.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They're in it for the love of the game, of
Yeah,
best friendship.
I think so.
Well, should we ask Sophie the question of the pod? The titled question of the pod? Okay, Sophie, on this podcast, how are you brainwashed? We ask our guests just that. What growing up did you think was true, real, that you have since learned was probably brainwashing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go with like my mom just called, and I really hope she doesn't listen to this podcast. I mean, I just my
She's a
phone
huge listener,
just
I hate to say.
Yeah,
she
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 could
loves
just
our
try.
pod.
subscribed.
She's a chaotic energy, but she might. Anyway, and maybe it's just different strokes for different folks, but she and my dad are still married and they just shouldn't be. They just like absolutely should not still be married. And like when I talk to them, they congratulate themselves a lot like, well, at least we didn't put you guys through a divorce. Like, we worked through it and now here we are, and they're
Mhm.
miserable and like
Mm,
stuck. And yeah, you don't have to stay in relationships that aren't working, and you don't have to only have one person. They also like really only have each other, and there neither one is enough for the other. Just as no one is enough for anybody,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
just not really how people work. It
yeah.
I feel so sad that now they're almost 80, and like it's just not going to ever they're not going to have like the life we have now, where we're able to love people and let them go or whatever. My sister is like in the midst of getting a divorce, and I spoke with the activist Dean Spade for this book about. I asked him like, what is the one thing you would want people to know about relationships in your research? What have you learned? He was like, divorce is good for children. Like it's very, very good for children when people navigate it kindly and
Mm,
and communicate to their children.
Mhm.
Then you get to let your children see a happy adult and not somebody who's suffering in an abusive or toxic relationship. And that's like very good for a child. Also, it allows those parents to spend more quality time with their children, because it's really great to have another person to parent with. And also, I'm sure you have both like experienced like that sort of joy of single parenting where the other person is like not there to interfere at all. And you just are with your kid for just a little bit of time. It's just
Mhm.
this like love, or kids, like this lovely thing that it happens when people get divorced. That was just brainwashing that's not good for people. Like, marriage is a great legal package for folks, and if it works for a lot of people, and also you just don't have to stay with the person you had kids with.
yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Wow, I feel like this has like been a theme as of late on the pod, and it's so interesting because I feel like we're getting different perspectives. But we had one comedian on who was like, what was his
His take was sort of that parents should stay together.
yeah.
I don't think that was mostly it, but it was. I mean, he was talking a lot about how like how honest to be when your parents telling your children that you're getting
Yes.
divorced, because if they're just like, we fell out of love. What does that teach a child? Okay, so my
Mm.
parents can fall out of love with me if like
Oh.
um if it's like, no, he cheated on me, that has irrevocably broken our trust and we're not together anymore. It's like, because when you are a kid, you're just like trying to fill in the blanks to make sense of something that doesn't make sense, and how damaging that can be. But yeah, so I think don't do that. But yeah, you should get you
I
should get
mean,
divorced if you should be divorced.
the
Yes.
key is like how you communicate with your partner, ex-partner, in front of your kid and with your kid, and like how you navigate it. There are a lot of people who can coach you through navigating a
Yeah.
divorce with a
Mhm.
child. And, I would say like, if you don't know how to explain it to your child, like get help. This is another
Right.
thing similar to like friendship nurturing, where it's like there are increasing resources, but there should be more. Like there should be
Mhm.
more resources that aren't like divorce is a failure, because
Yeah.
like divorce is the end of a relationship and things end. A hundred
Mhm.
percent of good meals and like good things end.
Yeah.
And so it's
Mhm.
like okay for relationships to end. That is something that it is important to teach children, especially at a young age. So they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
stay with toxic people who are, or just people who aren't a fit. Like you just
Yeah.
don't, you only have this one life. I do think, there's a right way to do a way to do it that is gentle on a kid. And of course, all transition is really hard for children.
Right.
But their life is just transitions. What are you gonna life is hard. What are you gonna do? But you should be a happy person. I wish my
Yes.
parents had gotten divorced. I probably would have been upset at the time. I probably would have been upset. I'm sure I would have been upset at the time. I'm sure. But like I just now at this stage, I just feel so sad for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you want your parents, you want your friends to be their fullest, happiest selves. And um yeah, I just don't know where this thought process of like it will help our children if they do not come from a broken home.
Yeah.
Like it will be better for our children if they see two people that fucking hate each other's guts every day live together than if we lived separately and had gorgeous lives and I had a jam store and you went back
A
to
jam
school, like,
store.
just saying, like,
Are you
in
just like moving into a Hallmark movie after this divorce?
maybe. I took some like psychology of divorce class in college,
You
which
did? Whoa, this
yeah,
is
I know,
good.
cool.
That's so cool.
The only thing I remember is that like women thrive after divorce and men crumble. That's the only like
Yeah, no shit. Like
piece of
a
data.
fucking course.
Right.
Yeah, of course they
So
do.
yeah,
But
so
like
get a
it's
divorce.
it's probably good for men to crumble, honestly. Like it's like you have to learn how to be an adult, and so
Mhm.
often men take marriage as an opportunity to not be an adult, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
just like not okay. So, they pick themselves up. I think they're stronger for it. I'm happy for these men.
And if they don't, that's their fucking problem, not mine.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we just gotta yeah, I don't know. What's obviously falling out of love is not a great thing I feel like that was what our parents' generation was like, "That's what we'll tell them." And they'll like that because it has nothing to do with them, "It's nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
We fell out of love with each other. That
It
happens
happens sometimes,
sometimes."
yeah.
And what happened with our guest who was like, "Okay, so that's gonna happen to me in my life, like,
Poor
somebody's just
buddy.
gonna stop
Yeah.
loving me, or is that my parents gonna stop loving me?" At any given point, someone can stop loving you was sort of the message that he took away from that. And I feel like,
Well,
yeah,
that person, I have not been through that experience, and I really feel for them. And it is true that people fall out of love. And so, I mean, that is true. And when
right.
you start dating someone might fall out of love with you. And actually,
Mhm.
that's not a bad thing. It's like a really great thing, because it means you get to love again. And like it might hurt, it
Mhm.
will hurt for a while, but then you get to move on and keep living your life. And parents don't fall out of love with their children. So that just is like these
Yeah.
are different types of relationships. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mhm.
if your parent loves you, they love you. But when we take care of children, and that's a different type of love.
Yeah.
Though I will say that having a daughter feels like the most like being in a throuple of, and I've been in so many different like
So many upples.
configurations. Yeah, I mean, so many different relationship configurations. And this is the most like this young, hot new thing has come into our lives. And like we both are more into her than each other. And it's just like, this is exactly what it is like to be in a throuple. Like these parents who think this is not something they could understand, like they are doing it all the time. This is just really similar vibes and like
Yeah,
exactly.
that's so I feel like at the beginning of my parenthood journey, there was, like, a tension not tension, like, real tension, but it was really just, like, missing each other in a
Of
way,
course.
and then also, like, a little bit of, my attention was so baby, then my husband was
Yeah.
like, "Hello," and I feel like that's so interesting to think of that how that would play out in a throuple because,
It
yeah, we're
just is
just
the same.
Yeah.
baby is throuple.
I mean, it's a little bit different because you're always going to love your kid. That is the bottom line. You're always going to love your kid. Your kid actually like can't do anything that if love is unconditional there, and it's that's a very rare type of relationship, and it is really
Mhm.
cool. But it also is to say that we all are when we make families like the nuclear type family, we get practiced in sharing love, and that is it doesn't make the love less. Like love is boundless, and we can love a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and so it's not like this limited resource where you give it all to one person and then you don't have any left. And different types of ways to love people. It's just really important to underscore, because I
Truly.
think with my first book about polyamory, like when I was doing interviews for that book, people were like, so what's it like to have sex with all these people? And I'm like, I don't know, like that wasn't like what it is for me.
Mhm.
And you
Mhm.
have this idea of you're like hearing she has sex with lots of people because you've watched some show on television at some point that where that's what's happening. And like it's just like not even remotely top 10 reasons why this is my relationship
Yeah.
configuration. So I don't know, lots of ways to love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, yeah, we're sort of polyamorous, but we don't have sex, but we are in love with each other, and, like, we are obsessed with each other, we prioritize each other, we communicate with each other.
Hmm.
Maybe we are in some
I
way.
know. I kind of think everybody is, but whatever. Then what is it? I had an editor be like, then what is it? If everyone
Mhm.
is it, then what is it? And I'm like, I don't know. I think that there's some people who are really suffering who aren't polyamorous. They're just with their one person and they're really, really sad. And she said that will not fly. You need some other element. Where I get caught up is, so like my second book project was like an exploration of asexuality and like queer platonic partnership, and I learned from all the folks that there's just so many ways. Like romance is this
Yeah,
one spectrum, and sex is this one spectrum, and
right.
gender is this spectrum, and we're all over all the spectrums. And at some point, the words become meaningless because we're just all
Yeah,
trying to love each other. But you know, it's interesting to talk about, and a lot of asexual people are also poly, and that I think is confusing for folks. But it is, it's true.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, what would you say are, like, the biggest misconceptions that people have when they
That's
hear
it. I mean, the other thing that I wish I could change is just like it does have to do with media portrayal. And
Mhm.
Mm.
I would just love to see so my relationship structure is I'm married and I have a long-term girlfriend and a long-term boyfriend who is long distance, but the girlfriend lives nearby and she's also married, and she and her husband have a role in my daughter's life that is significant. They're her godparents. If my husband and I die, they're her parents. And she also like has a college fund for my daughter. Like there's, or it's to call her my daughter. Sometimes it feels wrong because we just are, she's in our we're a big
Yeah.
family. So that's the configuration. When I was when I was pregnant and postpartum, like sex was off the table. Like my body is not mine and I don't want to have sex.
Mhm.
Mm, mhm.
So that wasn't a part of it at all. But our relationships are really low drama. Like, I just would say like just almost no drama at all for the last 10 years. I've been with these people for like between 9 and 13 years. So long
Yeah,
relationships. I can't emphasize enough how little fighting and like, explosions, and there's just not drama. And I
right.
would love to like watch a TV show where there are people who are in multiple relationships, and that's not the plot. That's like
Mm.
that's not like a problem. It's not like, oh,
Yes.
someone's going to struggle with that. It's just like, oh, look at, Ginger has 3 parents or whatever. Like, I would love, or just like these people are in, I see it sometimes on like queer shows that, there's some, especially in the gay community, like gay mask community, I feel it's like it's present.
Mhm.
But I would just love to see like what I have, like my thing. I want
Yeah,
people to see my thing because it's like, man, this is just not a plot point. It's just a fact. It's just
Right.
like a piece of my identity that is just does not make me actually more interesting in any way. But it does work for me so well and for my partner so well that it makes us happier and saner, and like it doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for most people, and that I think is like great. Keep just, know yourself or
nothing
whatever.
works for all people. No, nothing. So,
Yeah, I
all
know.
okay, everybody.
Yeah.
As Nicole says, if one thing worked, we would all
We'd
be
all be doing it
doing
if it
it.
doesn't.
Yeah, right. 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 Yeah, for sure. So I guess that, like, it just doesn't have to be
Yeah, no, that's
this
a great
a big,
answer.
big deal.
Yeah, it's just who you are and who
Just who we
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so many people in a writer's room who've never been in any kind of polyamorous relationship being like,
Yeah.
"What if they're polyamorous?"
But
Like,
they're
that's a
fucking and then
thing.
they're actually jealous, if that makes sense. Like, okay, please.
It's usually what have seen more than once or twice. It's even on Friends. Like, is one of the main characters enters into a polyamorous configuration for a short time. Their friends are like, "Uh-oh,
Mhm.
hey, is this really
Right.
what you want?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm into it." And then they find, no, they want a real relationship. They want, like, I'm putting quotes up,
Yeah.
like, they want a
Right,
quote unquote
right.
real relationship. They want something. They want commitment on that traditional way.
Mhm.
And, then the polyamorous people go away. They were like a 1 episode arc or a 2 episode
Right.
arc, and now they're gone because this is not, these people are like character color. They're not real people.
Right.
They're just sort of
Right.
like, and I
Right.
also have noticed and I'm a recovering stand-up also, like, in the stand-up community and in the comedy world, like, polyamory is a just wide open punchline. Like, everyone
Mm.
feels totally comfortable being like, these people are suck and are funny. And, like, I can make a joke, and I make jokes about polyamory, but it's like, I mean, you don't, like, you're talking about something you don't know that much
Yeah.
about. And,
Right,
like,
right.
also the amount that I have to, like, hide this. Like, I have a different last name around my children's parents, because I don't want them to not let her come over to their house, because that has happened to us. Like, we've just been
Yeah.
excluded from people. Or I had a boss who told me, like, I almost didn't hire you for this job when I saw what your first book was about, because it was, like, for a public high school. She was like, I didn't want, like, parents to be upset in this era where I'm in Chicago. Like,
Mm.
this is still, but it
Right.
is. And, like, don't make fun of it, please. It's sort of cheap, and it doesn't, like, I guess it lands for people because it's so obscure for people, but makes me feel sad. I think people associate it with, like, people in their 20s who are just, like, stupid, and I get it, but I just wish people would just take it a little seriously sometimes, because it's so nice for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so interesting. Well, I'll next time I go to a writers conference, I'll just say, "Hey guys,
Hey.
don't do it."
Thank you, I
Hey,
appreciate it.
hey, predominantly straight white male community that's here. Don't do that. Wait, who was polyamorous who in Friends?
Okay, so it's season 1 or 2, and it's like Chandler starts dating this beautiful woman, and he's just, like, totally in love with her, and he meets her at Joey's play, and then they're dating, and then he's like, but she
Oh.
has, like, another boyfriend, and
Yeah.
but she's like, but I also really like you. And actually, she's communicating really well. Like, if
Mhm.
you look at it through that lens, she's communicating really well. She's like, this is my situation. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Like, I love my boyfriend and I love you, and this is who I am. She's European. Often they're European, like these Europeans. And he dates her for 3 episodes, and then he's like, yeah, I needed a real relationship. And I was
Right,
just like,
right,
God, what
right.
a bummer. Cause, like, you just really seemed happy with this woman. And honestly,
Yeah.
like, you don't seem to have the emotional capacity to really be with a lot of people, but
Anyone.
she's like so emotionally mature, and she's being written off as like a problematic,
Mhm.
love interest. And,
Mhm.
and your
Yeah.
other option is what, Janice? Like,
Wow, to pick
I know.
Janice instead. Oh,
I know. Yeah.
Wow, there's so much of Friends that's problematic.
I know,
oh, I
of course
So
mean,
there is.
many.
And, like, I love that Polly character. I actually think they make her, if she wasn't supposed to be, like, an absurd character, she is beautiful and smart, and she's a good communicator, and she's, like, openly polyamorous, and honestly, it's kind of radical. And I also, in that first season, really, really love how Phoebe talks to Rachel about Rachel's, like, has, like, an Italian boyfriend who
Oh,
cheats on
Paolo.
her with, yeah, Paolo, which cheats on her with Phoebe. And the way Phoebe sits down and is just like, I make really good cookies and I really care about my friends. And then how Rachel doesn't, like, blame Phoebe. Again,
Hmm.
I think that is, like, atypical in TV shows that pit women against each other,
Yeah.
and they just it's just automatically like it's his fault. I actually think Rachel says, "I'm so sorry that happened to you."
Huh.
And it's like a very beautiful. There's a couple things in Friends that I really love, and
You stand behind.
I stand by. Obviously, I've seen. I have some sitcoms I've really seen. I really fuck with some sitcoms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nicole and I have seen Friends. One could say top tip to
Tail
tail,
so many
top to dot.
times.
Yeah. We had a friend we lived with in college who, whenever she was like sad, she would be watching Friends. So
She
we
was sad
were
a lot. It was college.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
watched
for
a lot
sure.
of Friends.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's not my favorite. There's so much that's so bad. It's not my favorite, but I do love it. Parks and Rec is my favorite.
Well,
Another great.
yeah,
Yeah.
a classic. I'm
It's
sure a
it's
rewatch
the
would be problematic in some ways.
It's the Leslie and Anne of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I have rewatched it 1,000 times, including yesterday, and it's not super problematic.
Oh,
It
good.
really aged
Yet.
pretty well. I know.
Well,
Well,
let's give it a couple more
yeah.
years. You know,
Okay,
Friends
all
is
right.
a little bit older.
We're regressing though. I mean, I feel like we hit some really great. A couple of years ago, we were paying attention to really great things in media, and now we're just like really backtracking in a big
Ooh,
way.
I know, that's right. If Tim Allen's back with another sitcom, you know we're in a dark era.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's too bad.
Every so often I go, Tim Allen's got a sitcom? What
Still.
is
Tim Allen?
happening?
Why is Tim Allen still around? What are we
That's
doing,
an
Tim Allen?
amazing question.
No,
Why
thank
is
you.
Tim Allen still around?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Oh well. I wish there were more comedy shows on television, period.
Oh,
I just
thank
really
you.
love them.
Me too.
I
Okay.
watch them. I watch all the comedies. I love them.
Mhm.
I want more. I want
Yeah,
more.
me too.
don't know
I
how we went
started
into
on
this
my
direction.
plane watching St. Dennis Medical.
Oh, is it good?
It's
That's on my
like
list.
it's in the style of The Office,
Oh, good. I like
Parks
that
and
style.
Rec. It's mockumentary, Abbott Elementary.
Mhm.
So like I'm always happy to see that, and it's in a hospital, which is sort of like
Funny in a hospital. Interesting.
It's like a struggling hospital. That woman from Reno 911 is in it, who I love. Wendy, what's her face? She's so
Oh, yeah,
funny.
she is so funny. I don't know her last
Um,
name off the top of my
but
head.
yeah, I don't know. I'm like maybe when I'm feeling I need a little gumdrop, I'll come back to her.
Yeah.
I watched a scary movie last night, and Graham and I, my husband and I were like,
what was it? What was it?
We watched Bring Her Back.
Okay, why are you saying it like that? Like, why are you saying it with that voice?
Sophie, it was tough. I had nightmares.
I'm sorry.
Have you watched it?
Well, I'll be honest with you, the only podcast I listen to actually is Too Scary Didn't Watch. Like I listened to this one to get ready for our
Yes,
talk.
yes,
And
yes,
maybe
yes,
I'll
yes.
maybe I'll stay. Who knows? I like
Yeah,
you.
come
I
on
feel like
over.
I
Alright,
might.
so-
But I watched Too Scary Didn't Watch for its purpose, which is like they do like full recaps of every horror movie, like scene by scene. And
Wow.
I need that. I love horror movie recaps. I love horror movies in concept. Way too scary for me. I feel so if you were a boy and I was 25 and we were going on a date, I'd be like, yes, I saw it and I can talk to you all about it. But
because you listen to the podcast.
I know everything that happened in it.
So you were
And
offended that Jenny didn't
God.
like it because you loved the synopsis.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was brutal being a mom.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I knew
yeah.
that was going to
it's a really bad one. You're right. That's
happen.
a really bad one. Oh, it's really bad.
It's really bad if you're a mom.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
never watch
really
it now
bad.
for sure.
But you
And
can
I
listen
had-
to the recap though.
I had just watched Weapons, and Weapons is also like not great for a parent, but like it's so campy, and like the villain is like so wonderful and stupid.
See,
And
Luke is
this
watching
was
that tonight.
not that. This was like I'm like halfway through. He's like, "This is actually scary," and I was
don't like that.
"Yeah, babe." I told it's like Australian, like
Yes,
anytime
they
it's
really push
Australian,
the
I
limits.
say
Don't watch the Australian ones. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, that one. So there's one host on that show who is a mom. Her name is Henley. She couldn't Bring Her Back. She was like, I cannot. Even with the recap, and it's great to have a mom on that podcast. The mom, we get the real content warnings. Like you won't be able to handle this movie, moms out there.
It's so crazy when I see a movie like this where it's about a grieving mom, Nicole, and like it's the crux of the movie is about a mother who lost her child and like the
No.
lengths she's going to try to bring her back.
Which is
Title
child
of the
abuse, which is
movie.
like a bunch of child abuse to other
A
children.
bunch of like horrible things she does to foster children and a missing child.
Oh my God.
Just awful, truly awful things.
It's like, but also like an incredible performance from Sally Hawkins. Like
Yes.
she across the board, it's
Right.
phenomenal. She's
But at what cost?
I know. But then my husband, like going to bed, he was like, I need to watch a video about how this was made to like make me feel better about the
So
kids,
smart. Do it.
the kids who were in the movie,
They're fine.
and they're fine. But also like these like two just like brothers from Australia made this, and I was like, what do they know about being a grieving mom?
Correct. Yes, it's
Fox.
always these men. Yes.
Just being like, let's make a movie about a mom. A horrible grieving mother who
There's
will do
like
anything.
a bunch of those.
They made a great movie, but it was horrendous. But
It was horrendous. Yeah.
Not everybody.
I like to get spooked a little around Halloween. I regret the choice of that particular movie, but anyway.
Well,
Would
Luke
recommend
loved
Weapons.
Weapons. He loved it.
it's
He
so
just loved it so
fun.
much. So they're going to show that tonight. But I'm going to tell you what, Jenny, Nicole, I'm not watching it. It's going to be on in my house, and I'm going to be in my daughter's bed next to her, kissing her little head. That's her little spooky head.
Yeah.
Yeah, her
nice.
little spooky corpse bride head.
Her macabre head. Well, should we play our final?
Yeah.
Our last game. Nicole, what's our last game?
Let's play
our
little
only game.
So we're gonna play, Sophie, a game called casting. We're gonna pick a category like Halloween monsters, and then say which Halloween monsters we all are. Everyone will say what they are and what everybody else is, and we'll be like, Jenny's Bride of Frankenstein because she has that amazing hair, and I'm Frankenstein because I'm married to Jenny, and Sophie is a werewolf because she's always screaming and the moon, and that was an amazing. Fun. So is there a category that comes to mind that you want to play with, or should we find one as a family, as a kin group?
Oh, I want us to find, I mean, that sounds nicer to find one as a kin group, but some things that some sort of topics that come to mind for me are general 90s pop culture and animals, like looking at animals or bird watching. That's coming to mind. I'm saying some really good things. So
I'm liking what I'm hearing.
General Babysitters Club. I think I mentioned that earlier, like sort of in that realm. So, I just gentle, loving.
Yes.
So, okay. So I've given you something to go off of. And if you go in a totally different direction, I actually love it. I love it.
I love personally the idea of animals.
Yeah, animals.
Just any type. I think birds is fun. I've been looking at a lot of birds.
Okay, I really know a lot about birds, so you're really putting yourself in a position for me to mock you, like a mocking bird.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, she's immediately.
I would never mock you. I would never mock you. I love any talk of any bird.
Okay, I think we should do birds.
Okay.
So let's everyone take a little second to think about what birds they are and what birds each other.
A little second. Okay, a little second.
Yeah, and if you have to Google birds, if you don't know as many birds, that's okay too. But
don't tell. I don't have to do that.
Sophie, that's clear. Some of us on the call might have to Google a bird, and that's okay too.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. I think I know.
Okay, Jenny, then why don't you, of course, start?
Okay. Okay. So, Sophie, I gave you a cardinal. I feel like cardinals are good luck when people see them. They're always just a burst of bright color in this dreary ass world. You see a cardinal, you go, I've been blessed.
Yeah.
Also, you're wearing this like gorgeous red velvet blazer and a nice red lip, and that just to me said she's a cardinal mama.
Thank you.
Yeah, all I really know about them is that when you see them, it's good luck, and people say good luck. And Nicole, I gave you just sort of general owl. I don't unfortunately have more specifics on owl, but you are the wisest person I know, and that's sort of I don't know if that's stereotype, Sophie. You can tell me later if that is not correct. But owls sort of in media have been portrayed as wise.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. It takes 3 licks to get to the middle of the Tootsie Roll Pop. That owl is very smart and he's good at counting. And Nicole is a great counter. Also, owls, I just feel like gorgeous.
Owls are the only 50-point bird.
What does that mean?
It's just a totally arbitrary number system that I made up when I was a child, and 50 is the highest.
Whoa.
And
If you
owls
know,
are the
you
only
know.
50-point bird. Yeah, truly.
Whoa. You are a
Incredible.
50-point bird, Nicole.
Thank you.
And then for myself, I give myself hummingbird. I just feel like she's anxious. She can't stop moving. Sort of hummingbirds, they never stop flapping their wings, right? Is that correct? They're always in motion. And that feels to me at this era of life, I am hummingbird. Just constant movement. And they're also so cool. When you see a hummingbird, you go, whoa. I feel because it's so rare
They're
that
so cool.
that you get to sort of see them in motion. Like,
1,000%.
that's how I feel
How do you
about
feel about
myself.
sugar?
Feel great about
She's
sugar.
pro.
Love it.
That's it.
Definitely. That's me. That's my
So
bird
good.
cast.
Incredible birds,
Amazing.
Jenny. I'd be happy to go next.
Great.
I gave myself flamingo. I feel
Oh,
that
yeah.
there's a gorgeous pink vibe. I would love to stand on one foot and show my balance. I'd love to be sort of dipping in Florida. And then also I would be so popular that people would make lawn ornaments of me when I'm being flamingo. I gave Jenny chicken. I do think
Love
that
chickens. Love them.
chicken is really chicken feels Jenny to me. I
It does
think.
feel right,
It
actually.
just says you are so chicken. You
You're
are
so chicken.
you are just chicken. Your vibe is absolute chicken to me.
sure.
No more needs to be said on
Yeah.
that, I think. Sophie, I am gonna go ultimately Raven.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
I think-
I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked.
Okay, in a bad way or a good way?
No,
or a
there's
or a
no
neutral
bird
way?
that I'd feel badly about.
Okay.
I love them
I just
all.
feel Raven, is a gorgeous sort of regal, smart, sort of sophisticated bird, and that's what you're giving me today.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is I would just listen to this podcast be this. With everyone in the world. We could do everyone in the world. Okay, I'll go, but I want you to know I've really gone back and forth, and I want to tell you the runners up, and I won't tell you that much about them. I just want you to Google them.
Okay.
And so Nicole, your runner up bird was the jacana bird. And that's just a beautiful bird. You got to look at a jacana bird with her babies. That's what you got to see.
Okay.
Oh, gorgeous.
I know. And Jenny, for reasons having to do with dancing and feminism, I am giving you the runner-up bird was the phalarope, PHALAROP, and neither of those is the winner. So here are the real birds. So Nicole, your actual bird is my favorite animal on the earth. I would just give it to both of you, but it has to do with the fact that you've done theater. So I'm just gonna give you the pigeon. My favorite animal lives in the city.
Yeah.
Incredibly intelligent, can play ping pong, can identify cancer cells better than cancer doctors, can form friendships with all different types of animals, including each other, can fall in love. I mean, just really good parents, incredibly beautiful, just like such an amazing animal. So friendly, tolerates the waste of others, the mess of others, is able to see beyond it and live their best life. Jenny, I'm going to give you black cat chickadee. An incredible, amazing, actually perfect bird who can store the location of tens of thousands of individual seed locations all over the world. They also, and this is having to do with just, how you warned us about those scary movies. They have a call that it tells all the other animals or birds in the forest if predators are nearby with with coded Ds, the number of Ds lines up with how dangerous is the predator. And so just like a very good citizen, also lives in cities, can live anywhere. So cute, will land on your hands. Just like a very cute, very beautiful, very perfect bird. And I self-identify and have for a long time as a scarlet macaw, a bird who is capable of self-mutilation if they're very lonely, but is vegan.
Oh, whoa. Wow.
I mean, we had the bird authority on the pod, and I had no idea. This whole time we're talking to you about family and polyamory. It's like we should have been talking about birds.
I like to talk about birds' families. because birds do a really good job. And there's this myth that birds are monogamous, and they're mostly not. But mute swans are, and so are bald eagles.
Mm.
And mostly pigeons are too, but they'll play around.
Thank you for that.
Wow, I can't wait to. Yeah, I got to do more research on pigeons.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait, can I just send you an article I wrote about pigeons? I'm just going to send you an article I wrote about pigeons.
I'd
Wait,
love
get
to read
obsessed
it.
with pigeons. Like,
Okay.
if as soon as you're obsessed with pigeons, the amount that your life improves, it's like it's sort of like if you've never had ice cream and someone gives you ice cream and you're like, this has just been here like this whole time.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that. I am not overselling. Like, it's truly amazing.
We must share this with our community.
Okay, yes. I'll send it to you. You can share it.
Okay, the pigeon article's in the show notes, everybody. Sophie, thank you so much for talking to us today. This was so wonderful.
So fun.
Where can everybody follow you, keep up with you, support you, get your books?
I'm on Instagram at Sophie Lucido Johnson, and the books will be everywhere on November 11th. It's called Kin, the Future of Family.
Oh, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. I am very excited. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.